Hi, Stacey Cole here with the Healthy Lifestyle Institute for Women. Are you ready for our tip of the week? It is ask yourself the right questions. See, the questions that you ask will influence your answer. And losing weight is really just a series of small decisions. So let's look at some common scenarios that play into the goal of health and fitness, because honestly it's a really good tip for reaching any goal, but we're talking about health and fitness. So what are some common scenarios that might fit into that? Well, one that I can think of is sitting in a restaurant and looking at the menu and trying to decide what you're gonna have for dinner. So you could ask yourself questions like, let me think, what sounds really good to me? Or you could ask, what's everyone else having? And form the answers that way. Another scenario is that moment when you're trying to get out the door and get to the gym. What's the question that you ask yourself then? You could say, do I really want to go? Hadn't I rather sit here and just watch TV instead? Or you could say, what really happens if I just miss one day? I mean, what's the big deal? So those are some questions that you could choose to ask yourself. And I'll give you one final scenario, and that's grocery shopping, and you're in the cookie aisle. Like, why are you there in the first place? But you find yourself there, and you're staring at your favorite box or bag of cookies. And you ask yourself, don't I deserve a treat? Or how can I justify buying this and taking it into my home where I know it's going to be a temptation? You could say, who's going to really know if I eat it anyway? So back to our tip, which is ask yourself the right questions. And the reason that that's important is because your thoughts lead to actions, which lead to results. And so we want to put you in a position where you make the best decisions possible that will give you the outcomes that you really want. The outcomes you really want, okay? So let's go back and look at all those scenarios and think about some questions that we could ask that might serve you a little bit better. So let's go back to the restaurant and looking at the menu and trying to decide what to order for dinner. You could look at that menu and say, where on here are all the ingredients I need, or the items that I need to eat on my meal plan this week? Where are they? I'm going to search them out. That's another way that you could answer the question. And you could say, looking at this menu, what are my healthiest options? Out of everything on this menu, what's the best possible choice I could make? Sets you up for a little bit different scenario. Going back to looking at the gym, it's time to get off the couch and it's time to walk out the door and get to the gym for the day. This is the day that you scheduled it. So what's a better question that you could ask yourself that will help you get off the couch? One example would be, what if today's the day I have a breakthrough in my training? Maybe I'm able to lift with a heavier weight than ever today. Maybe I am going to beat my time on running a mile today. Those are great questions because they're very motivating. And you could also just ask yourself something as simple as, how's it going to feel when I'm done with this workout today? Much better positioning for yourself. And then let's look at that final scenario, standing in the cookie aisle at the grocery store. What are some questions that you could ask yourself there that might help you get the results that you're after? One thing that comes to my mind is to say, is it really worth it? For the 5 seconds that this cookie is going to be in my mouth, is it really worth how I'm going to feel at weigh-in this week? Is it really worth putting off achieving my goal one more week just to eat this cookie? It's only going to be in my mouth for like 5 seconds. Is that 5 seconds worth how you're going to feel for a whole nother week of missing a goal? Another question that you could ask is, what's the real gift that I want to give myself this week? It may not be centered around giving yourself a treat that's a bad treat. It could center around drinking more water or eating healthier so that you feel better and you can achieve the goal that you've set out to achieve. What's my weigh-in going to look like this week? Those are all questions that better position you to reach your goals. And so again, thoughts lead to actions, and actions lead to results. And so you really want to equip yourself with powerful questions that you can ask yourself at the right time to help you be able to take the action that you need to take in order to reach your goal. So I'm rooting for you, and I hope that you find this tip to be helpful. Again, ask yourself the right questions. It's a very powerful tip. So I hope you get some benefit out of this and can use it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.